July, 1518, Strasbourg, a city baking under a relentless summer sun. Crops are failing, famine looms, the Black Death isn't far behind in memory. And then a woman steps into the street, no warning, no music, just dancing. She twirls, she stomps, she doesn't stop, not for food, not for water. For 6 days straight she dances until her feet bleed onto the cobblestones. And then others join, then dozens. Then they dance in trances. They scream mid-step. Some collapse, some never get up. One man reportedly danced for before his heart gave out. This wasn't joy, this wasn't celebration, this was the dancing plague of 1518. The time an entire city lost control of its legs, and maybe its minds. Welcome to, you won't believe the bizarre and deadly dancing plague of 1518. At 5 minutes, 3 truths, and one very cursed Tuesday. Number 3, in what modern-day country did this happen? Let's set the GPS. Strasbourg, 1518. Today, that's France. But back then, it was part of the messy, loosely organized Holy Roman Empire, which basically meant lots of rulers, zero coordination. Our start, Frau Troffea. Yes, that's all we know. Mrs. someone. No first name, no backstory, just a woman who stepped into the street and never stopped moving. Within a week, 34 others joined. In a month, over 400 people were caught in the dance fever, and the authorities, they didn't call doctors, they didn't quarantine the square. Nope, they called musicians. Why? Because the town physicians diagnosed the outbreak as hot blood, a condition where too much passion overheated the body's humours. Their cure: burn it off. So they built wooden stages, hired pipers and drummers and said, dance it out, folks. Imagine a city council approving a government-funded rave to treat a deadly epidemic. They even cleared out a hall and brought in professional dancers, not to stop the madness but to keep it going. Spoiler, it didn't help. People danced until their ribs cracked, until their hearts burst, until they just dropped, and still the music played. Number 2, what other event involved similar mass hysteria? If this sounds like mass madness, congrats, your brain works. Because this might be history's most extreme case of mass psychogenic illness, when psychological stress causes real physical symptoms across a group. No virus, no toxin, just trauma manifesting as dance, and it's happened before. In 1962 in Tanganyika, now Tanzania, a schoolgirl started laughing during class, just a giggle. But then she couldn't stop. Soon the whole classroom was howling, then the next, then nearby villages. For months, over 1,000 people suffered uncontrollable laughter. Schools shut down, parents panicked. It spread like a joke no one understood. Sound familiar? Same pattern, no medical cause, high community stress, and bodies acting on their own. Was 1518 just the Renaissance version of this? Possibly, but there's another theory involving a fungus that turns bread into bad trips. Number 1. What disease is caused by the ergot fungus? Enter ergot, nature's psychedelic saboteur. Ergot is a parasitic fungus that grows on rye, especially in wet seasons. Eat infected bread, you get ergotism, also known as St. Anthony's fire. Symptoms include hallucinations, seeing demons, angels, or dancing skeletons, numbness and burning limbs, hence fire, seizures, gangrene, limbs turning black and falling off, fun, and yes, involuntary movements, including wild, jerky motions that look exactly like uncontrolled dancing. Oh, and get this, LSD was first synthesized from ergot in 1938. So these poor dancers, they might have been tripping centuries before Woodstock. Was Strasbourg unknowingly serving up acid bread? It's a strong theory, especially since rye was a staple grain and 1518 had a damp spring. But here's the catch, ergotism usually causes gangrene and limb loss, not non-stop dancing. And records show no spike in amputations. So maybe it wasn't just fungus, maybe it was a perfect storm. Famine plus fear plus religious guilt plus possible poisoning equals sign a city that literally danced itself to death. Or maybe it was divine punishment. Some clergy at the time believed the dancers were being punished by St. Vitus, the patron saint of dancers and epileptics. So they shipped the afflicted off to his shrine, praying for mercy. Pro tip, if your solution to a plague is pray harder, you're probably not winning the science award. So what really happened in Strasbourg? We still don't know. But one thing's certain. When the human mind is pushed to its limits, by hunger, grief, fear, it doesn't always break quietly. Sometimes it dances. So next time you're stressed, before you rage clean your room or binge watch 3 seasons of a show in one night, ask yourself, am I coping, or am I one bad day away from a full-on medieval dance trance, like this deep dive into history's weirdest moments? Smash like before the urge to cha-cha takes hold. Subscribe, because truth is stranger than sleep paralysis. Share it. Tag someone who dances like no one's watching, because honestly, they might be possessed. And remember, life's short. Dance if you want to, but maybe take a nap instead.